Amba kwe amaka ku majoy yes and verwelkom re aleamuela babotlhe sithi nonke siyanamukela voordat ons aangaan, ik denk het is belangrijk dat mevrouw Lesoma aan mijn linkerkant en meneer Murwaseta aan mijn linkerkant. Hij is leden van het parlement. Daar is ander leden van de Noordkap wetgevende huis is Glenda Lepolesa, Shadrach Holwe, daar is ander twee leden van het parlement, Kiwi Miriam en Nombulelo Hermans. Ik denk hij zal met ons voorlang hier wees. Ik wil zeggen dat het is baie belangrijk voor ons om hier te wees. Voor ons als leden van het parlement, daar is geen dorpie. Al die dorpen hebben diezelfde belangrijkheid. Al die mensen van Zuid-Afrika hebben diezelfde belangrijkheid. Ons is blij dat het parlement besluit heeft om hier te komen en die securiteit te sturen, zodat ons al die sanitizing alles moet doen, want jullie gezondheid is baie belangrijk voor president Ramaphosa, voor de leden van het parlement, voor onze premier Zama Sol en al de leden van de wetgevende huis hierso. So ek is ons is tevrede dat hulle alles goed gedoen. So ons mag nie kommer daaroor. Ons is zeker dat hulle veilig is. Siyabona ukuthi ma security yethu beyikhona lapha bayenze yonke lento bafanele bayenze ukuthi nibe safe ngoba safety yenu is important for us. Ek wil ook sê dat dit is baie belangrik dat ons kan sien dat eenheid tussen wit en zwart hears and hear the dorp. Re a leboa gore ba ba shweu le ba bantsho mo toropong ena ba phela hammo hantle. Ha re batle ho bona ntho e etsaetseng ko Senegal. Ons wil nie sien wat ons Senegal gebeur het, waar swart en wit mekaar doodmaak. President Mandela en president de Klerk het gesê, hierdie land behoort aan man van ons. En hulle het gesê, eendrag mag. Julle sien, ek het hier vandag, nie om te slaan nie, om te wees dat eenheid is baie belangrik. So die eenheid wat julle hier wees, is gesymboliseer deur hierdie ding wat ek in my hand het. So ek gaan niemand slaan en julle gaan ook nie mekaar slaan. Ek is ook baie bly dat die leierskap van RSA hier is. Ons werk baie mooi saam met die nasionale orgaan van RSA. Ek sien hier is meneer Nicole Jansen, meneer Petrus Boshoff, ek sien meneer Gideon Musia, hy sê is een geborene van hierdie plek. So julle is 'n baie goeie voorbeeld van die nuwe Suid-Afrika. Le bontsha motlhala o montle wa Afrika Borwa. So wat ons gaan doen in die Xhosa, Zulu taal en Sotho, ons praat van Ubuntu, Botho, en Afrikaans oplossen, als gewet schon ba re file motlhala wa gore le rona re sebetse mmoho re be le solution. So ek is baie bly dat almal van julle swart en wit hier is. Maar het is ook belangrijk dat elkeen wit en zwart toegelaat moet wees om te sê wat hulle wil sê en hoe hulle wil dit sê. Dit maak nie saak of 'n mens met jou saamstem of nie. Wat belangrijk is voor ons is om te horen al die opinies the war. Ha batho ba bua more democracy. Era umunye na munye unembono wakhe. Sifanele simumamele aveze umbono wakhe. Nami ungazwani naye akune nkinga mara muvumele aveze umbono wakhe. Thina siparlament sizoya eKapa sihlale phansi sijonge imbono yonke sithi umphakathi uthi size amendment ye constitution, but I think already that you have shown us by your actions that you are a united people here. There is a meeting in the multi-purpose center about title deeds. Those who for title deeds, this is not the meeting. The meeting about title deeds is in the multi-purpose hall elsewhere. The people outside will show you where. Ander mensen hier kana vraag. Hoekom is hulle hier weer? Daar was 'n komitee van parlement wat oral gegaan en gevra of dit wenselijk is om die grondwet te veranderen. Antwoord was ja, dit is wenselijk. So vandaag ons is nie bezig met diezelfde vraag. Die vraag wat ons vandaag bezig is met, is om te weet hoe ons hier die wijziging moet formuleren. So ons sal baie bly wees as ons nie tyd mors om te sê waarom is hulle weer hier? Ze is weer hier vir 'n verskillende doel. Karelugonu harata mona ho botsa gore re fetole molaotheo na. Re tlile mona ho botsa gore molaotheo ona re o fetole bjang. Re batla gore le re fe maele a lona. Le se tšele kuthi ma siyenza lo mthetho umutsha sibaleni na, ngoba uTata Mandela no de Klerk basifundise ukuthi maparlamente isebenze nga ukuthi umphakathi uthi. So nina, you are more important than us, because you are the people who elected us and sent us to parliament. We did not send ourselves to parliament. So when we go to parliament, we don't want to do what we think. We want to do what you want. That's why President Mandela said, no government can justly claim authority unless it is based on the will of you, the people. So what we will do, you can see that the hall is small, but every voice counts. We are to take 5 hands this side on my left, 5 hands on this hand, and then those who have spoken will have to go out so that others can come in. You know the difficulty of recognizing people is that you cannot, if you say 5 hands, 5 hands, it means it's 5 out of all of you, 5 out of all of you. So don't shout on me and think I'm discriminating against you. I don't know you. I have no reason not to recognize you, to give you the same attention, because for me, you are all South Africans, you have the same rights, and I want to make sure that all of you have the right to speak. But from the experience that we have had, we take hands in front, in the middle, and at the back, so that we don't have backbenchers. And that will apply on both sides. My colleagues here are here. Make the mistake, Ndatemurwa Setla and Melisoma, where you think I make a mistake, you are free to call me to order so that we work as a team as usual. So, Jeles Alman, verwelkom. Ons gaan met ons werk begin. Rokala Kamsretswaro. Ons het vertalers, dat is mensen wat gaan vertalen. Ik kom van die Noord-Transvaal, Limpopo. Mijn Xhosa is niet goed, niet, dat is niet Xhosa sprekende mensen daar. Dat is net meneer Murwaseta dat probeert Xhosa daar te praten. So, ons gaan nou begin. Ik ga op mijn linkerkant begin. Misschien 5 is niet een goede nummer. Ik zal 3 handen hiervoor, 3 in de middel, 3 daar at the end. So, ik said, er gaan 3 handen hier herkennen. That's 1. I'm sorry to give you a name. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And then I'm going to the middle. That I done here done. Any other hand there? That hand there. Another hand? No, there's no other hand. So how many hands do we have here? 5. Okay. Can we go to this side? Or we deal with this side first? Ik denk ons moet samstem, arukane, that every speaker will get 3 minutes to state their points so that all of us have time to speak. Can we start here?
Translation of the summary of our website.
Oh, before you start, we want a translation. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Professor Muchak. Igama lami ndingithemba Inkosi Ngoma. Ndizawuzama ukucacisa le nto ibithethwa nguprofessor apha phakathi kwethu ngelwimi lwesiXhosa. Apha phakathi kwenu ngamalungu wekomiti yepalamente ethe yanikezwa uxanduva lokuba ihambahambe ilizwe lonke, ihamba ifuna ukuqonda ebahlalini uba ingaba usection 25 we-constitution ungalungela uba abhalwe kanjani na. Niyawukhumbula ke uba le komiti ayiqali kuba lapha, kuba lo msebenzi ubuqale ngexesha besuka ipalamente edlulileyo, i-5th parliament, apho ikomiti ibinikezwe uxanduva loba ihamba ijikeleze ilizwe ibuza ebantwini uba ingaba ulungelwe na ukutshintshwa usection 25. So kwisigaba sokuqala ikomiti yayihamba ibuza uba ingaba kulungelwe na ukutshintshwa kwa-section 25. Impendulo ke eye yaphuma kubantu baseMzantsi Afrika yeyoba ewe kulungele uba makatshintshwe usection 25. Yiloko ke namhlanje uba silapha sizoqondisisa uba njengoba sasivumelene uba makatshintshwe usection 25, ingaba makatshintshwe abhalwe kanjani. Sibonile ke amatyela amaninzi apha abantu abazofika bame kweli qonga ogqiba babuze le palamente uba ingaba izofuna ntoni na apha kuba babeyinikele ilungelo loba mawuyutshintshe. Eyona nto sizoyicela apha yindlela uba nincedisane nepalamente ukuba lo mthetho mawubhalwe kanjani usukela kule ndlela ubhalwe ngawo. Utshilo ke uhlalo uba uzawuthatha izandla kweli cala, izandla utshilo ke uba uzawuthatha izandla ezintlanu kweli cala, athathe izandla ezintlanu kweli cala. Umntu uzawuzoma apha athethe ngalo mba singawo, unemizuzu emithathu umntu ngamnye ukuba athethe. Sawucela ke bakuthi uba umntu xa igqibile uthetha, ngenxa yoba siyazi imithetho ye-COVID uba xa igqibile uthetha uzawukwazi uba aphunyelwe ngaphandle, izingabi ngathi uyagxothwa, uziyazi uba sivulela nabanye ispace. Siyacela uba ngawo onke amaxesha sizame uba laa migaqo siyaziyo ye-COVID-19 ye-lockdown sibambelele kuyo, enzela uba le nto siyizele apha namhlanje ize ibe yimpumelelo. Ndiqinisekile uba ndizamile kancinci uyisamarayiza uba uhlalo ebesithini. Ndiyabulela hlalo.
Ik wil net ook zeggen, op die nationale vlag, ons het al reeds begin om samen met Agri-SA te werken, zodat de leden van de Agri-SA kan helpen om zwart mensen wat wil boeren te helpen om te leren hoe om te boeren. Ik is baie blij dat de leierskap van Agri-SA ook hier is. Ik hoop dat hier in de Noordkap hulle zal ook zeker maken dat in hier die provincie samen met jullie begint samenwerken, zodat wanneer die land beschikbaar is, jullie ook die kennis hebben om die land te boeren.
Uhlalo ke uthi uyavuya nje ukuba ibekhe wadlana indlebe kancinci nosihlalo we-Agri SA okhoyo apha phakathi kwethu kwavunyelwana ngendlela esawuthi sisebenzisane ngayo, so uyathemba uba sawuthi sisebenzisane sonke njengoba silapha silungiselela le nto uba sizawuthi ke ekugqibeleni sibe siya ekuphumeleliseni le nto isenza uba sibe lapha namhlanje. Kodwa uhlale besitsho nje uba unovuyo kuba uye wathetha nomphathi we-Agri SA yolapha bavumelana ngentsebenziswano nabahlali balapha. Siyabulela.
So kan ons nou begin, die eerste persoon.
Nkosi Mr. Chair. Ndiyabulela Mr. Chair. Zawuthetha ke olwami ulwimi lesiXhosa uzawukhona ozawucacisa ecaleni. Mr. Chair, umenshine into yoba apha funeka sisebenzisane. Sithanda into eyi-one ba iparlamente izile ebantwini. Nantsi niparlamente nize ebantwini. Kodwa inhlungu yam iyi-one before siqhubekeke kule business of the day. Asikwazi basisuke ngapha iparlamente sizele abantu abayi-60 apha. What about our brothers and sisters esingaphandle ezivalelwe igate? So how can we proceed without our brothers and sisters? Because our brothers and sisters, they are outside. But uthi nina sisebenzisane, sizawusebenzisana njani? Abanye abantu sibavalele ngaphandle. Saziva njani izimvo zaba bantu bangaphandle? Ndicela intsebenziswano Mr. Chair. Kalonto le ngapha koko ndicela le program iajenwe ingaqhubekeki ngoba abantu bakuthi bahlele ngaphandle. Masivulwe igate bame phandle kuthethe wonke umuntu. I-social distance siyayazi bayithini sinazo imask kodwa sicela intsebenziswano ko Mr. Chair. Inkosi ndiyabulela.
As members of Parliament, we also respect the health protocols. We also respect the security arrangements. Now, we have been advised that those that are outside will also have an opportunity to come in. So let us not change the health protocols because that's not our responsibility. Let's not change the security regulations because that is not our responsibility. But we can assure you that nobody will be closed out.
Usihlalo uthi la malunga leparlamente ayayihlonipha kakhulu impilo yaye nomphi na umhlali nommi walapha eMzantsi Afrika. Ngoko ke becetyisiwe uba iholo siyayazi sonke umongameli bekhe wathetha ngento yoba xa ebesisa ku-level 1 uba izinto zizawuhamba kanjani. Apho sizawuthi uba eli holo belithatha 150 abantu kodwa sithathe ihafu yabo bantu ngexesha. Loo nto leyo ayithetha ukuthi aba bantu balapha ngaphakathi ngabantu abazomanyelwa iparlamente kuphela. Iparlamente izomamela abantu bangaphakathi, izomamela naba bangaphandle. Yiloko ngokube ndicacisa bendisithi sawuthi njengoba sithetha umntu ugqiba kwakhe uthetha uyasicela uba avulele abanye ithuba so that nabanye bazokwazi ungena. Akutsho oko ke kuthi aba bangaphandle ayivalwanga igate uba kuphinde ngene umntu apha ngaphakathi. Sawuthi yaziba simane sicutheka apha simane songeza inani ngaphandle, simane sicutha ngaphakathi songeza inani ngaphandle. Yonke loo nto
So yonke le nto
siyenzela ukujongana nokhathalela impilo zethu. Ndiyabulela.
njengoba usitsho mhlekazi wami yonke le nto ayithethayo ngokwayiqalile uzawuphinda ayirepeat. ngoba kaloku ndiyaku-understanda umthetho wakwa-health nempilo zethu. Apha sinaso istadium esiphaa, befanele uba kuye phaa istadium wonke umhlali, ngoba bakhona abantu abayirhalelayo le nto le kodwa bakwazi ungena ngendaba yoba kuze abantu abayi-60. How can usuke epalamente uzohlalela abantu abayi-60 phakathi? Ngoba ngoku mhlawumbi izawuenda phi bayidibheyithi, ndizawuphuma apha ndithethe ndiyohlala phandle, abuye athethe omnye ndingayibonanga, ndingakhange ndivisisane neentetho ebezithetha apha. So sicela intsebenziswano kuni bantu basepalamente, ngoba nisivalele kwakube kwasegeyithini, navuma singene. Ngoba ngoba ndiyazi uba nifuna sisebenze kanjani. Sinalo i-stadium phaa, befana uba nithethe le nto before abantu bazokwazi uba baye estadium, uzokwazi uba sonke. We are living in a democratic country, so please give us our rights. We are living in a democratic country here.
We have given you 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, but you can proceed with your program.
We have given you 3 minutes to talk to us about
Honorable Chair, I'm Nicole Janssen, President of Agri Northern Cape. Honorable Chair and Honorable panel members, I want to thank you for the Chair on the way he opened this public hearing. I can see that you spoke from the heart, and I really appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity to participate in a very important public hearing in terms of the possible amendment of the Constitution. Chair, we have a once-off chance to do it right this time, and we have to do it right. South Africa have limited resources, and we have a growing population. Therefore, there's no room for unproductive land. There's no room for failure in terms of land reform, Chair. There's no room for failure on developing new generation farmers, farmers of color. Chair, now why must we start this transformation process to previous disadvantaged people that is of low value, land of no value or no value? How can we expect from these new farmers, these new black farmers, to make a success of their businesses and to create wealth for their families and their communities if their land have no value? How can we expect from them to start from scratch and make a success with land that have no value? Land that is expropriated with no compensation or zero compensation, as suggested in the amendment of the Constitution, means that zero is being paid for that land. Now, how will they have value for the new owner if the cost to obtain this land have zero value? Black farmers in this country deserve land with value, sir. Black farmers also deserve land with value to obtain access to credit, to expand, and to get inset cost for the next season. And the only way you can get that is through property rights. Property rights is still today, in the economic world and reality that we are in, the only way to preserve and maintain value for everyone in South Africa. And I'm so glad to hear there's a hearing on title deeds. That's the way forward. That's how we can obtain wealth for everyone in South Africa. So to summarize, Honorable Chair, give all South Africans access to property rights. Give all South Africans, black and white, property rights protection in the Constitution. And keep the Constitution and Article 25 intact, the current wording to make a place for zero compensation will not protect that value. Therefore, sir, we have to take a look at the wording and come up with some.
Goeiedag, ek wil net 'n kort stelling maak. Volgens die memorandum op punt 4 staan daar finansiële implikasies vir die staat. En dan die woordjie geen. Kan ek net dan die staat daarop attent maak?
Kan u vir ons sê,
I can't hear what you say.
kan u vir ons sê, ek het 'n fout gemaak. Wie is u, van watter organisasie, en u kan weer begin, en ook u moet hierdie ding wegvat sodat daar's masjiene wat rekordeer sodat hulle mooi kan hoor. You can't hear me.
Can I carry on in English then?
Yeah, just remove the mask a bit.
Jammer daarvoor, ek is meneer Mervin Swart van de Agri-Unie. Ek is 'n boer in die distrik. Ek wil dan net ook aangaan met wat ek reeds gesê het, dat punt 4 van die memorandum staan finansiële implikasies vir die staat. Dan staan daar die woord geen. Kan ek die staat net aandagtig maak daaraan, dat die mense wat eiendom besit, is die mense wat seker meer as 90% van die staatse inkomste deur belastings betaal. Sonder daardie belastings, as dit wegval, sal daar geen inkomstebelasting wees, daar sal geen kapitale winsbelasting wees of eiendomsbelasting nie. Die staat gaan geen inkomste hê basies nie. Hy sal nie sy eie salarisse betaal, die infrastruktuur of toelaas vir behoeftiges wat elke maand uitbetaal word nie. Die hele stelsel in Suid-Afrika gaan platval. Baie dankie.
Geagte hooggeplaastes, dames en here. My naam is Ludwig Menne en ek verteenwoordig Flipstown Boerevereniging. Die huidige amendement wat op die grondwet is expropriation without compensation. Nou ek wil net die vraag vra, indien 'n plaas, sê maar my plaas word weggeneem, wat gaan daarvan word? Gestel die plaas word gegee aan hierdie meneer wat hier voorsit. Na 'n jaar, as hy alles geïnvest het in hy plaas, dan word die plaas weer weggevat en word aan die dame wat agter hom sit gegee.
Maar sien die ander mense dat grond kan weggeneem word, net op die kilometer, sonder enige vergoeding, sonder enige inspraak. So, geen eiendomsrecht, vir wie maak dit aan die eienaar? Die eienaar van grond is aan niemand. Dit is die persoon wat jy sê, is die 10 ouers van jou boer, wat die land gegee. En die vraag wat ons allemaal moet afvraag, wil ons sê, dat 10 ouers van boer, of 20% van boer, die sê moet hee, oor alle grond, en nie een van ons, nie een wat hier so sit, nie een wat hier so sit, kan het plaas besit nie. Ek wil behaal dit wat ek hier voorheen naam doen, maar ook dit en gee vir ons zorgakte. Gewillige verkoper, net in ons zorgakte, waarvan eiendomsrecht kan gee. Dit is die eerste manier
waar welvaart in hierdie land vir almal kan styg. Baie dankie.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. I'm going to try my best to express myself in English. As I understand, that's the best way to apologize. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. My name is Stefan van der Merwe. I farm in the Bridgetown district, and I also represent the Bridgetown farming community. I'm going to try my best to express myself in English today. As I understand, that's probably the best way for everyone to understand and to get my message across. Firstly, I want to point that that I don't agree with the amendment of the Constitution. To make my point, I was born in 1988. I went to school in 1995. I believe I had every opportunity that most of the pupils that went with me to school. So I know there was wrongs from the past that needs to be corrected, and I stand for transformation. I truly believe we as farmers need to transform, but in that way we need to find a solution to go, not to go with land without compensation. Give me the opportunity to transform, give me the opportunity to work with my farmers on the farm, take my hand and try to work a way forward to see if we can transform without losing my land. If I'm not willing to transform, then I know this is the only way forward. The only way forward is compensation. I'm lost for words. But to take my farm without compensating me for that. I agree with Mr. Jansen. He also pointed transforming. We need to transform. We need to give black farmers the opportunity to farm. But to take my farm away and to give it to one person will not transform. Give me the opportunity to buy land in the open market, to work with my farmers, my farm workers, and see if we can work a way forward and if we can find a solution. In that way, I'll be able to provide for 6 families, and I'll be growing my business, and they'll also be able to earn a better salary and to learn to farm, and in that way, we can move to the next generation. Thank you.
Women are the majority in this country. They are the victims of gender-based violence. So I want to make sure that women have an opportunity to speak. So I'm going to be biased towards women. Because if it was not because of women, none of us would be here. So I'm going to this side. I'll take one, 2, 2. There's another hand there. Is there no lady with raising his hand? Okay. And then the middle, there's a lady there. At the back, no, we recognize them. At the back, the man in red.
Enkosi Sihlalo. Ndingufikile ndingwakwambukushe ndingusihlalo alamafama lapha eDiyara. Ndibuhlungu ngoba bendimamela apha kuthethwa ngaba bantu bamhlophe. Bendiba izawuba khona itoliki, zikhona iindawo ezisiposileyo phaya. Ngoba bayekwe nje bathetha bona, kukho abantu abangabaviyo uba bathetha bathini. Ingxaki yam inye xa bendisiva apha kuthethwa ke ngawo. Bendiba size apha ngokuzofuna isisombululo. Ndawona into yoba sifumane isisombululo, sifumana isikhalazo. Amathuba ebekhona ngaphambili. We're willing seller, willing buyer. Akange awathathe lo mathuba. Ngoku silungisa into zonakeleyo. Kusekho isikrokro, kukho isikrokro esikhoyo esithi xa sizawunikwa le mihlaba sizawuphinda siyigqushe le mihlaba. And into ecacileyo ithi le nto le mihlaba sizawunikwa imihlaba eseyiphelile. Mna bendilindele okokuba besizawuthetha ngobunye, and then ke thina bantu bengenalwazi kangako apha sizawuphathisana naba bantu bamhlophe abathethi loo nto. Babona okokuba izawuba yilahleko into yoba masinikwe imihlaba. Ngoku uzawuthi benini ke okokuba thina sifumane kwii-fruits zalapha eSouth Africa. Sizawuthi sibe ngawo nini thina abantu abafuyileyo, abafundileyo kubo. Sifuna ufunda kubo, masebenzisane nabo, babangasiboni ezabantu abayiproblem. Mabavule imihlaba, bangasiniki imihlaba eseyigqushiwe. And then ngomso xa singakwazi ukuya phambili sibonakale ezifeyila. Ndicela loo nto enkosi.
Thank you very much. Igama lam nguBukelwa Voko. Thank you very much, Chairperson, for the introduction and the fact that I'm not going to be holding you in the committee responsible for the logistics. As far as that was concerned, it was a failure. Of course, it's terrible, but it's fine. We're not here for that. I'm also wanting to raise the point that it's a pity that the two meetings have been separated, the one that you mentioned earlier on about the title deeds, as well as this one, because I am of the opinion that there are people who have got questions for both these sessions. However, one cannot clone oneself and say, I wish I could take my other half and deliver it onto the other side. Having said that, the bill is talking about the question of it may be nil. My opinion on that one is that it's an open-ended thing because it says it may be. It doesn't say it is nil. You are not going to be compensated. If I am incorrect in terms of my interpretation of that, I would need clarity. But again, going back into the question of compensation, who decides who is going to be compensating what for what? Because currently here in DR, we have got families that were forcefully removed on the other side of this township, and they are sitting here in 2 and 3 or 4 bedroom, 4-roomed houses. And as far as that was concerned, they were promised, even when the committee or somebody else was here in DR, coming to ask for people, for them to come forward with their old title deeds and all the information as far as the restitution and compensation was to take place. To this date, nothing happened. We have conducted our research because we wanted to know how can we be of assistance to the communities of DR, both black and white, because yes, our past has brought us to where we are currently. And we are not going to just take an eraser and say, look, our past is the past and everybody needs to forget about that past. It does not work like that, and it does not have to be working like that. If there is a means of compensating people, that has to be opened by all parties concerned. Of course, you can never expect a person to go and farm to a land that is overgrazed and be expected, I agree with that speaker, and be expected to come up with a fresh produce with something that is going to be valuable for your land. It is not going to happen. I am impressed by that one young farmer. I wish we could also see the state supporting black young farmers that age and even younger, because our people and our children are roaming the streets. If they could be given things to do, there's a land that is laying bare in DR, and not even people have got access to land to build their own houses. There has been a moratorium after another moratorium, and you ask yourself the question, what is the question about the land in DR and the surrounding areas, the Pixley Kasem? Thank you.
Thank you to recognize me. I'm a Xhosa, but I'll try to speak English. We are here. Oh, sorry. We are called here, we are here. I think the reason you are here is to, to listen to us. What you want, you will get the answer from us. I'm surprised that, sorry to say, I will say it because it's a white man. I'm a black man. They must give us the land. What I want to say, there is no paying back to them. By who did they pay for the land? Why we must suffer to get the land back?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Greetings to everyone, the panel, and everybody who's present in the meeting. I would rather like to say thank you for Parliament to come and to hear us out. And we want to reiterate the question of the bill has to be amended as soon as possible. because this thing has been dragging for a long time. And again, here in DR, as the previous speaker said, we have a moratorium. People are struggling to find even a site to build a shack or a house in this town. And that moratorium, we don't have a clue what is going on. Has it expired, or is it still effective? And when it comes to the compensation, the people who were forcefully removed from the old location over to this township where there's only stone, there was nothing. Those people, our parents, have not been compensated yet. That compensation has to be dealt with first. And again, the bill has to be amended. That land has to be given to us black people without compensation, because it was taken and we were never compensated. It was taken forcefully and we were never compensated. And again, when it comes to farming, it's not only about farming. There are other issues where we need land. And in the question of agriculture, even here in this region, we don't even have an agricultural school. The agricultural college, which is nearby in Middleburg, is dominated by whites only. And when I worked for Statistics South Africa, I was doing a survey on farms. And it is a clear fact that 80% of the land is owned by a minority. And I discovered that some of the land is owned by foreigners. People from England, in Europe, own land in Africa, in South Africa. And yet us, we are still busy discussing about expropriation without compensation. But the bill, at the end of the day, I stand for it to be changed to the advantage of us black people. We appreciate that there are white people who understand that all this has been unfair and it has to be balanced. Thank you.
Baie dankie. Die mense wat van die parlement afkom. Ek sal nie die naam van hulle weet nie, hulle sal ook nie my naam weet nie. Ek is nou 72 jaar oud, wat ek hier staan. Ek behoort by Hannover, klein dorpietjie. Ek is nou so oud. Ek sien niks wat daar aangaan. Ek bly my kinders daar. Ek hoor dit word van praat van grond. Ek is ook 'n boer by die African National Farmers op Hannover. Swart boer. Maar ek sal bly wees as die wit mense vir my luister hierso. Ek sal bly wees as daar miskien 'n goeie hart kry by hierdie wit mense. Laat hulle my net try met sê maar 3-4 oeye of met 'n ram. Ek sal dit maak. Maar die moeilik is die grond. Die mense, ek sal baie bly wees ook vir die regering. Laat hy haastig wees vir die diewe wat die geld eet. Vir hulle laat tronk en bandiet Hulle moet sommer daar by die tronk bly. Want ons hoor net die TV oopmaak, die mense hier sê, hy het 'n biljoen gesteel. Maar dit gaan net aan, elke dag. Ek sal bly wees dat die wit mense wat my hoor hierso in my foto vat en help my daarna oor met 'n stuk grond. Want ek weet die grond sal ek sal doodgaan. Die mense is nie moeilik. Ek bly met die kinders in 'n een vertrek. Die huise word vir die familie gegee en die familie. My naam is Elias Mbuyiselo Nogawana. Ek bly lang. Ek is gebore in Noord-Kaap. Ek gaan nou dood van hierdie siekte. Dat sal niks. Die mense, hulle kom net hier en hulle slaap by die Grand Hotel en niemand, daar Zuma, hy was nog nie gevang nie. Daar's nog anders. Hulle met die kettings. Daar's niks wat aangaan. Laat die geld kom. Laat ons kan vorentoe gaan. Ek sal bly wees vir hierdie wat mense wat hier gepraat het. Ek sien die ander ene, miskien is my papier die. Laat hy my help. Hier sien ouma. Laat hy my help. Ek is ook 72 jaar oud. Ek sal bly wees. Ons moet nie net vergaderings en grand plekke slap en verby. Nou, hier's John. Hy is agree. Ons sit daar sonder water. Ons boer. Ons moet van die huise afvat, gaan voer. Nee, dit gaan nie aan. Ons kan nie so aangaan. Baie dankie.
Goeiemôre of is dit almiddag? Vir almal wat hier binne sit. Ek is anti-meisie. Taibosh Bosman. Ek kom hier om vir die gemeenskap en die organisasie, die ANC, en gemeenskap Sanko. Soos die vorige spreker hierdie kan gepraat het. Ons is daai kan gevat in die ou lokasie sonder om vir ons te raadpleeg om te sê, julle kom hier na toe. 1996 toe hierdie bill geamend word van daai parlement. Ons is hier gekom sit by huise wat ons moet self omgekrap het. In ons armigheid, ons land daar, die huise wat ons by gebly het, is net so gevat. Sonder niks, toe wat ons hier gekom gooi. Soos ek voel in die gemeenskap, die gronde moet vrywillig gegee word, sonder betaling, want onze voorouders, my oupa, het jare vir die plaasboere gewerk. Hy het vee gehad. Hulle het sy vee net so gevat. Hy het doodgegaan met een oompie in Petrus in Roukraans gebly. Hulle is daar uit met hulle sonder hulle se vee en niks het daarvan geword nie. Ek voel die wet moet verander word. En die plaasboere moet nou weet. Dit is uit en klaar. Daar's so klomp hektas wat niks het nie. Een plaasboer. Dis hier vanaf tot in Hannover. Sy een plaasboer se grond wat hy niks mee maak nie. Hy maak niks nie. So ek voel ons hulle moet die gronde vir plaas vir die swaar boerdery en vir enige die vrouens ook laat ons kan kry. Ons is nie te dom. Ons werk vir hulle. Onze mense maak hy plekke reg. En die plase, dan staan hy, dan sê ek as die baas doen jy dit. Hoe kan ons nou so onnozel en dom is? Ons kan nie, ons het ook verstand, ons kan ook iets doen deur die wil van die Here. Hulle het ook gevra vir die Here. Nou ons vra ook dat ons Ubuntu terugkry. Sibuyi Ubuntu bethu. Sizive ukuba nathi sikwi-South Africa. Ndiyacela ek vra laat hulle hulle se harte vir hulle mooi maak. Laat hulle net vrywillig sê hier is 'n grond, vat die grond met my oop hart, dankie.
Yes.
Chairperson, your committee, my name is Mzwandile Makhamba. I am from the Economic Freedom. Mzwandile Makhamba, I'm from the Economic Freedom Fighters, and I want to extend my salutation to my provincial leadership who's here with us, who made it possible that we are having these engagements. This is a debate long outstanding, which must have direction as soon as possible. We stand for Section 25 to be amended. By that, we simply means that, and we are not apologetic about it, it must be amended so that we can expropriate this land of our forefathers without compensation. Anyone who sits here as a farmer who thinks that he will be compensated is wasting his time. I'm hearing here farmers who are talking about assisting, wanting to help. You must be able to help and show us that you are willing to help in order so that our small farmers can emerge. And we can't be having emerging farmers forever. That can't be, it's a criminal activity. In Mtanjeni, where I come from, we are having emerging farmers for how long, I don't know. And it simply tells us that they will remain emerging farmers. They will never become commercial farmers because they don't have land. Their cattle, their livestock is roaming the streets of Mtanjeni DR. We are being hijacked by those animals. They need land. There's no land available for them. If these white farmers are saying that they are willing to help, why can't they show it now? They must start with their farm workers and give them shares on the farms they are occupying now. This is our land. We are not stepchildren of this land. It should be expropriated without compensation. It should happen. And it does not end up there. We are having people who are staying on graves as we speak. They are staying on graves in shacks. It can't happen. This is our land. This is the land of their forefathers. They need housing as soon as yesterday. So we are calling upon government to speed up the process, and once we expropriate and avail land to these farmers, give assistance. And also the commercial farmers who are the white farmers should also do the same, because already they have got the profits. They must share those profits. As we speak in Mtanjeni, we've got farms that are just lying bare. No one can take charge who those farms belongs to. So what we are saying is the EFF, let's expropriate those farms, let's make them available to our people so that we can do farming. So for our white farmers here, don't just talk, do what we are saying, so that we can take you serious. Otherwise, we don't take you serious, and we can't be waiting for another 400 years. We've gone past 400 years, it's now 26 years. We can't start a second round. It's been too long. Let it happen now. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I'm Stefanus van the EFF. I'm a farmer from the local district. I want to thank you for the opportunity to give us, to you and your committee, to give us the opportunity to have our say here today. It's now 26 years on, yes, that's right. And the past needs to be righted. I agree with that. But the most important thing that we must do now as South Africans and as people of this country is to make sure that we don't make the same mistakes over again. And I trust that this committee sitting here today will listen to what everybody has to say here and realize that there is a need for transformation. There's a need for people to own their own property, and there's a need for people to own their own land. Forget about agricultural land, all sorts of lands, houses, businesses, etc. But the only way that that need will ever be met is if that land has value. If they can own a piece of land that has value, if they can own a house that has value, if they can own a farm that has value. To take away the value of a farm now and to make the compensation for expropriated farm nil takes away that value, that rock that everybody stands on. When you go to bed at night as a business owner, as an agriculturist, as anybody, you know that you still have your property and your business, and that's what counts. So let us right the wrongs of the past through effective transformation programs, by phasing out corruption. For 26 years we've been trying to do it as a country, and we haven't been getting it right because of corruption and wrongdoings by officials and politicians. That needs to stop, and that needs to be righted to go in the right direction. We mustn't take away property and make the value of property nil. That's not going to be the solution to this problem in the future. Thank you.
Good.
Hallo, okay. Ja. Goedemiddag Mr. Chair en goedemiddag almal hierso teenwoordig.
Test.
Ja, my naam is Pieter Mouwers en ek is van Britsel. Ja. Ek is baie bevoorreg om vanmiddag by hierdie vergadering te wees en ek is ook bly dat Agri Noord-Kaap ook hier teenwoordig gewees het. Wel, in Britstown sit ons met presies dieselfde probleem van mense wat nie hulle se klein boerebedrywighede op 'n grootskaalse manier kan voortsit nie. Maar ons sit ook nog met nog ander probleme en ons kan niet eintlik 'n probleem noem nie, maar ons sit met wit mense wat eienaars is van 10 plase, 15 plase en Agri Noord-Kaap neem ek aan moet kennis dra van hierdie boere wat 10 plase, 15 plase het. Hoekom is dit dat Agri Noord-Kaap dan nooit gekommunikeer het saam met die boerderygemeenskap en gevra het, reg, hoekom kom julle dan nie en sê ons het nou 'n vrywillige koper, ons is vrywillige verkopers nie. So in berusting sou ons sê dat die amendment van section 25 voor moet gaan. Baie dankie.
VES en van watter organisatie en dan mag E. Pente.
Goeiedag, goeiemiddag regering, goeiemiddag allemaal. Ik is Patricia Jooste van Bridgetown. Ik heb die man voor mij nog net aangeraakt wat ik graag wil vragen. In Bridgetown is daar mensen wat al klaar beginnen met farming. Maar omdat daar niet land is voor die mensen om die boerderij te extenden, is het eindelijk een probleem. Want ik weet van een paar boeren, zwart, klein boeren, wat nou bezig is met farming. Maar daar is niet redelijk land, dus dat is een probleem voor die mensen om te expand en ook te groeien in boerderij. Nou wil ik graag vragen dat die regering met naar zulke mensen kijkt. Alsjeblieft, dank je.
Alman wat al reeds gepraat is, alsjeblieft zal jullie beter kan gaan, laat andere groep terug aankomen. Protection officers, make sure that we get others in.
Good day. Thank you for the opportunity that I get now. My name is Nkululeko Tondolo from here in TR. I'm not here to speak politics because this meeting of this gathering is not about politics of this organization or that organization. My point is one. Western Cape, Southern Cape, all those people did get their reward from the land that had been taken from them. But why here in Northern Cape we must suffer like this? Our parents, some of them, they have already passed fighting for their rewards. So please, comrades, try and look after Northern Cape. Take it serious. I'm not politicizing anything, but please take Northern Cape serious, especially TR. Our fathers are already gone for fighting for their reward. I thank you.
Protection officers, are there no other people who wants to come in outside? Pardon? Okay. Maybe in the meantime we'll proceed with those that are here. Four, five, five, yeah. No, yeah. That man. It's only the chairperson who I recognize you. Who? Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Come this side. Men at the back. first.
No way, please. Thank you. Thank you, Chairperson, and good morning to all the people in front of us. Good morning to the communities here. Leaders, what I would like to say to you, let us learn from our history. As you are learning from our history, definitely we won't repeat the mistakes of the past. We are going to come up with new things. Now, I'm born here in the R. Sam Tozamile Mui, grown up here in the R, removed from Malay camp up to Nonzwagazi. My father, coming from work, have to ask people, where are my children? And then he was led by municipality policemen to his house, new house. You've already heard that we haven't got any compensation about that. And it is always delayed. And then things are getting, at least now, bad. Because most of our parents, my parents, have passed on. And most of the people who've been on that committee to serve the community have passed on. Those people who are left behind, it seems as if they are not interested. The ANC, which is our governing party here, is saying nothing about that. What I want to say to you is that take note of that one and speed it up and make sure that it is going to serve our people very well, especially on this land question. Coming now to the other issues now about land, we say let that Act 25 be changed. Let there be some reforms in South Africa, and land should be available to the people. No compensation about that. It is coming from our history. If you remember very well, our property was taken, and at the same time, we are forced to kill those animals. Come again to our kings, our forefathers who fought for this land in the frontier wars. Let's talk about Uplachis here of Botswana. Let's go to KwaZulu, Sitao. All those leaders have been fighting for this land because they know that our economy is based on this land. We need it here in the R because there is land which can be availed to the people. You've heard about the moratorium. I don't want to repeat it because it's going to be a song which is going to frustrate most of the people. Please make sure that you take note of the government of the R, this municipality, who doesn't want to avail land. You've heard about housing, that is amatyotyombe amileyo phaya. Animals who are roaming around here in the township. Businesses, you ask about the land. Who's owning this land here next to this hall? It is a foreigner. It's a pity I have to mention those things, that somebody from Bangladesh have bought the land is available. But for the people of the R who want to buy the land, it is not available. You look at 757, which is demolished right now. That is the land which should be given to the people. What I mean is this, that if we want to work together with the white farmers, the government have to be willing first, have to say, here is land for the people. Here is also support for the people, especially the small farmers, those who want at least to contribute to the bread basket. Now, please help us. Please help us.
Good day, Honorable Chair, members of the public. My name is Dirk Rapoel. I am the Commodity Manager for Agri Northern Cape. We as Organised Agriculture opposed the suggestion of amendment of the Section 25 of the Constitution. Amending the Section 25 of the property clause will not result in sustainable land reform. You already heard about corruption, and we as Agri Northern Cape are of the strong opinion that failure of land reform is not a result of just corruption, but also inaccurate funding with reference to the Motlanthe report. And yes, so we oppose the suggested amendment. And lastly, I want to end that amending the section, amending the bill will result in a total economic failure where our country cannot afford at this moment. I thank you.
Add the sticker in the box, please. Next one with the sticker.
My fellow South Africans and Chair, I'm Isaac Turon, I'm a farmer, and I represent myself. I'm opposed to the change in the Constitution regarding exploration without compensation at zero value. This proposed change to the Constitution was tabled due to the current lack of speed in which the distribution of land was currently happening. But the main reason for the slow speed and the poor implementation of the redistribution of land in its current form is because of poor governance. The Constitution, in its current form, wording, gives enough room for government to successfully readdress land distribution without compensation and with compensation, depending on the facts and the history of specific land. We need the right people to govern, to implement, and to manage this process. All South Africans, black and white, need access to land, land with value. We need title deeds that carry value. Those in power needs to acknowledge their own shortcomings and take the blame. To propose the expropriation without compensation is just shifting the blame. This will lead to a failed state, and we all will suffer the consequences. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Henry Ackerman, and I'm speaking on behalf of myself.
Go out there who are coming in now. You have spoken. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Chair. I am Henry Ackerman. I'm speaking on behalf of myself. Recently, there came 700,000 hectares from state-owned land, which they are going to give to farmers. The reason why I'm saying that is I think there's enough land in that is state-owned and enough property in the market that the government can buy it and give it to a farmer. There's no need to take land without compensation. So the basic thing is just compensate the farmers, and they are willing to distribute the land. Thank you.
Those so that they have an opportunity to speak. Now, to this side. Proceed.
Afternoon, Chairperson, Honorable MEC. Should I raise it? Dankie, ek kan hard praat. Ek kan baie hard praat, ja. Thank you. My name is Lily and my surname is Andreas. I'm from Carnarvon. I'm the chairperson for the Black Business Chamber in Northern Cape. But Chairperson, first allow me just to read the message from the Carnarvon emerging farmers, because they assigned me also to convey their participation, even though in absentia. Ons ondersteun die Section 25 rule, maar ons vra dat die eienaarskap toegeken moet word en dat geen grond aan plaaslike munisipaliteit of plaaslike owerhede toegeken moet word nie. Dat die huidige plase terug na grondsake moet gaan. Opkomende boere word nie toegelaat tot finansiële hulp as huurders van gronde nie. Now this is the message from Carnarvon emerging farmers. But please allow me to, from a black business perspective, to participate. First of all, Chairperson, I need to understand the land issue and the actors that has been expressed in this bill and in the media. What is Agri Northern Cape or Agri SA saying? If one farmer inherited in 1993 more than 21 farms, what is Agri saying about that? I heard what they said, I'm asking. And I can give my details so that we can engage. One. Secondly, the land issue. Chairperson, is the land distribution only meant for like soil, land for agriculture? Because we've got aquaculture as well, and maritime in the Northern Cape. And then I need to understand that we spoke about history, which is fair. But for the past 10, 15 years, the court, the constitutional court, has become the khoga to black emerging people and to black people claiming that their land has been taken away in apartheid years. Now the trick is in court. Do you have proof of your great-great-great-grandparents' title deed? How? It's a khoga and it's a dilemma, Chairperson. And then, like in the Carnarvon area, Chairperson, 65 kilometers in all wind directions belongs to 2 or 3 farmers. Carnarvon, Loxton, Carnarvon, Vryseburg, Carnarvon, Beaufort West, Carnarvon, Victoria West, Carnarvon, you know. I need to understand, because the solution is white people must come to the forth, engage with government, be able to give direction on the how about, because blacks know how. But the moment when blacks engage, it becomes a dilemma that march to court. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is Shadrach Tlaule, resident of the Northern Cape.
Alsjeblieft, ons woord hoor. Kan jullie alsjeblieft bly stil, laat ons hoor.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Shadrach. The surname is Tlaule, born and bred in the Northern Cape. I'm here representing my interest and the interest of the black majority in South Africa and the EFF. We are supporting Section 25. And we support the Section 25 by saying land should be expropriated without compensation. We as the people of South Africa, the black majority South Africans, we are getting impatient with government. We are demanding that the process should be speed up. We must come to a conclusion that the land should be given back to its rightful owners. We are sick and tired of the promises that we have been getting for the past 26 years. And we hope that our frustration will be attended to and listened to by government. As a member and a citizen of this province, we are saying we don't owe any white man a land. This land belongs to the people of South Africa, Africans in majority. And it is therefore undermining that there are some white people who today would want to say the land that is out there, our land, should be paid for. Why should we pay for something that does not belong to you? It is because of greed. The majority of white South Africans are greedy. And that greedy is going to end up not nicely. We are prepared to engage with the state. We are prepared to engage who stole the land from us. And we are prepared because of maybe our parents have made a commitment to these white people of South Africa that they must continue enjoying the land. But our generation is not agreeing to that. This generation is saying we must get our land and we must get our land back now. And that land that we want, no white man in South Africa has a title deed for that land. That land is stolen from the people of South Africa, from the apartheid government that took it upon themselves to share our land amongst themselves as white people. And I don't think my kids will tolerate it the way our parents have tolerated it. We are here fighting for what is rightfully ours. White people, alamut marnet pasop, ons nodig ons land terug. Thank you very much.
I saw the lady coming. Which side did you come from? Where did you come from? Did you come from that side?
I was the third one. Yes. Okay, thank you. My name is Sandile Makanula. I'm a community member. Actually, I won't prolong this. I will support this thing of the land without compensation on this thing. Because also on the section 25, number 3, it says the amount of compensation and the time of manner of payment be just and equitable. Now what I will also suggest, that point number 3 to be taken out or to be amended so that people can get the land without compensation. No law must be included. Another thing that I also want to ask, let the land not be leased. Let us own the land, because no one, even the white people, just took the land without compensation. They took the land from our own people. Me as a young people, as a young person who doesn't know about 1913, I don't want to speak about 1913. We are in need of land. And if you are going to give us a land with compensation, then we are killing the young people. That's why we say we as young people, we want land without compensation, no time, nothing will be adjusted. That's why I said in section 25, number 3 must be taken out away. We don't want that section whereby people must be saying we are given certain time. In this certain time, we are going to pay this amount of money. We want land without compensation, and we are saying to the department, they must also assist the youth. If we are getting this land, you must also assist us as a youth. It's because at the end of the day, we won't get this thing of saying the white people saying we are giving them land, but they cannot monitor. It's because you as department, you're supposed to support us as young people. I don't want to speak about 1913. We are not there in 1913. We are speaking about 2020. That's why I'm saying take away number 3. Thank you.
in this. Andiyathetha tata. Ndiyathetha ndingumXhosa. So ndinguNthabiseng Musiya, ndingowalapha eDiyara. Ndisuka ki-ANC Youth League. Ndiyimemba ye-ANC apha kule ndawo nikuyo. Zithethiwe tata izinto, including zonke izinto, because the ANC is also very clear on land without compensation. So I would like to move with the document, with the amendments that were raised for the document. I'm moving. Nthabiseng Musiya.
Is it afternoon, eh? Yeah. Afternoon, Chair.
Who have spoken must leave the hall so in. Please, 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 please.
Afternoon, Chair, and the panel, and the community at large. My name is Zed, and the surname is Queen Anna. I'm from Phillipstown. I traveled 55 kilometers from Phillipstown to DR. Along the road, if you look both sides, all that land is being owned by white people. 55 kilometers just from Phillipstown. So I'm here, and I'm from the generation of today, to really talk to our generation, especially the white generations. If they don't have generosity like their parents, this generation will be impatient. We are here to ensure that the expropriation of land without compensation, it happened in South Africa now, not late. We are requesting the government to really fast-track this process. It is about time, it's almost more than 25 years now, that we are still trying to redress these imbalances of the past. We are here to come and support Section 25, that it must be amended without compensation. We are appealing to our fellow white people. We are appealing to you. This is our land. You must accept it. If you do not, we'll get impatient. We'll ensure even we'll put a serious speed to our government. If you don't fast track this process, this generation won't be patient like the late or our previous generation of our fathers. So we are here to support it as an EFF. We are supporting the expropriation of land without compensation. I thank you, Chair. The sticker is here.
Opportunity to those that I recognized. Those who have just come in, I'm going to recognize you and then you'll speak. Can I first exhaust the list of those that I've recognized? Is there still someone? Yeah. Only those who have stickers now. Yeah. So I will come back to you. Those who, do you have anyone who has a sticker who has not? Yeah, come.
Good afternoon, Chair. The panel with him here today. My name is Joshua Tron. I'm a farmer from Richmond, Ubuntu municipality, and I also represent the Richmond Farmers Union. I'm the 6th generation on our farm. My forefathers came there in 1840, so I don't want to hear anything about my forefathers stole land from anybody. When they came here with the ox wagon, there were no people on this land in 1840. Currently, I employ 22 families on my farm, which of is 50 dependents on my farm. I'll repeat that, 22 families with 50 dependents on the farm. I don't get any support from government of seeing that children getting to school each day. I do it all on myself. I grew up on the farm in the Northern Cape in Ubuntu municipality, and so did the 5 generations before me. Amending Section 24 of the Constitution is not the right thing to do with zero compensation. I'd like to say, if you start expropriating property without compensation, in the near future, you're going to set an example of people wanting stuff for free. You'll see the people here with the red shirts. Everybody will say they want something, and it will never end. If you set an example with this section, not only with the land, but with housing and everything in the future, everything will be up for grabs. If there's no value for a property, and I don't only speak about farm, I talk about properties in the towns and everything. If the government decides they want that land for a specific purpose, and you already put compensation or expropriation without compensation in the Constitution, you won't have any means to go to courts to get compensation. Say, for instance, the government wants to build a road through a certain area in town, and they tell everybody, no, but this section of houses we need to take away. If there is not in the Constitution a place that protects property rights, and if the government wants that land, they must compensate you for fair and equitable for that property. Currently, the Constitution allows for expropriation without compensation. I'm against the amendment that says at zero compensation, as previously stated. And thank you for taking the time to come to the R. I know the previous three gatherings were in Kimberley and Uppington and Springbok, and I just want to thank you guys for seeing the need in coming more south to the towns of the R. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. You had a grace period. The chairperson has responded to an unavoidable call. And for the time being, because nature does not allow any vacuum, I'm in charge. Next speaker. No, don't we have a list of speakers, or are we starting afresh? Are we starting afresh in identification, or speakers are there? Okay, the next speaker. You are 3 minutes.
Meneer de voorzitter, mijn naam is Johnny Visser. Ik is 'n plaasbestuurder van 'n plaas hier buite. My voorvaders, ek is die 4de generasie op 'n plaas en ek het die oorspronklike titelaktes waar die grond gekoop is van die Britse regering. Nie van apartheidsregering nie, van die Britse regering, the Queen of England. Daar's 'n Engelse spreekwoord wat sê, two wrongs don't make a right. Ek het geluister na vorige mense wat gepraat het, wat ontevrede is omdat hulle geskuif is van gronde af, en hulle is nooit daarvoor gebetaal nie. En is ons regering dan nou besig om weer presies dieselfde te wil doen? Die definisie van steel is om iets te vat by iemand sonder om hom daarvoor te betaal. Dit wil my voorkom asof ons nou in ons land besig is om diefstal te wettig. Dankie meneer.
Thank you. Next speaker from the last batch. Is it a new batch? Okay. No, let's identify the first 5. Baba, before, it's okay, Baba, for him to come, but wait a bit before let's identify the first 5 speakers. You'll be number 1, even though you have identified yourself. Number 2, 1 next to the camera, 2 in front. Of order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, eh? Are they 5? In that order. With the Baba in front. Over to you, Baba.
Goeiemiddag, meneer en juffrouws. Ek is Jan de Beer. Ek bly in die Aar. Akkerstraat 5, Karewel. Ek is 'n plaaskind. Ek het in die plaas gebore en groot geword. In die Noord-Kaap. Ek het om fyn getravel. Ek het 1955 het hulle my 491 bokke uit die bidmense van my af ontneem op 'n onwettige manier. Het my gesê ek met die bokke veepos te vat. Toe ek die bokke aan die veepos is, toe ek weer daar kom, kreeg na die drolietjies, toe die bokke gesteel in die veepos vir die wit mense. En dit het gemaak dat ek die plaaswerk gelos het. En ek het 1966 en ek weer gevra vir grond, toe ek weer klompie skape met mekaar gemaak, want ek kom nie reg in 'n dorp nie, ek is 'n plaskind. Ek sê, en hulle het vir my gesê, waar ek gesien 'n hotnot mag in Suid-Afrika grond kry. En dit het gemaak dat ek besluit dat ek gaan dan nou maar die plaas se besigheid werk los. Ek gaan skeer. En ek het 20 jaar geskeer. Plaas vir plaas getravel. Ek het by wit mense geskeer, ek het vir hulle gevra by elkeen wat ek by skeer, gee vir my 'n stukkie grond, want ek wil boer. Ek boer nou by heilige oomblik boer ek in my yards. My skaap is in my yards. Ek het 44 skaap in my yards wat ek mee boer. Want ek het kry nergens grond nie. In Suid-Afrika nie. Dit is vir my 'n gruwel onder die hart dat ek moet so sukkel om 'n stukkie grond kry in my vadersland. Ek was regtig dierbaar as ek noem dit, want ek het baie gehoor daar, hoor ek hulle sê, wie gaan vir die wit mense werk as die hotnots grond het? Dit grief my. Dit grief my, stel my te leer. Ek het gevra, nou wat is die rede dat ons nie 'n grond kry nie? Dis vir my gesê, wie gaan vir die wit mense werk as julle ook ryk is en plase het? Dit het my diep teleurgestel tot vandag toe. Ek kry nog nie grond nie. Ek sukkel al weer in die Aar wat ek kom bly toe kom werk by die munisipaliteit. Toe weer vir my bokke aangeskaap. Toe sê die munisipaliteit vir my, die bokke se misstink, ek het nou weer skaap. Want ek kom nie klaar sonder diere nie. Ek kry nie grond nie. Vanmôre vra ek in die vergadering, wat is die rede dat ek nie kan grond kry? Dis lê op my hart, want ek kom nie klaar sonder boerdery nie. Ek het groot geword met boerdery. Ek is 'n boer, gebore. Toe ek met die wit mense boer, toe sê hulle, ja, jy's 'n baie goeie boer. Ons kan nie sonder jou klaarkom nie, maar jy nie is, jy staan af. Maar toe ek vir myself wil boer, hoor ek hulle sê op RSG in die radio, ja, Hortland kan nie boer. Ek weet nie wat is die rede nie. Maar terug vir hulle boer, dit is ook 'n baie goeie boer. Dankie dierbares.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Thanks, Chair. My name is Mzukisi Sikundla. I'm the structural chair of the ANC in Mtanjeni. I just want to make some few submissions in terms of clause. Clause 25, subsection 1. Constitutional text reads as, no one might be deprived of property except in terms of law of general application, and no law may permit arbitrary deprivation of property. Was submitting that the text should remain as is. Clause 25, subsection 2, I'm not going to read it, but we want to submit that we are submitting that the new C should read as following, I quote, subject to without compensation or nil compensation under condition laid out in a law of general application. Clause 25, subsection 3, was submitting that, in fact, to insert at the start of the subclause 3, let me quote, is saying where compensation is payable. Clause 25, subsection 4, was submitting that the text remains as is. Clause 25, subsection 5, were also submitting that the text should remain as is. Clause 25, subsection 6, were also submitting that the text remain as is. Clause 25, subsection 7, was submitting that the text remain as is for this process to be revisited at a later phase of the broader land reform process and as a separate process. Clause 25, subsection 8, was submitting that we need to insert the underline as follows, I quote, no provision of the section, including the payment of compensation, might be impede the state, close quote. Clause 25, subsection 9, was submitting that the text remain as is. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was very clear and straightforward what he wanted to say. But in any case, now, this was the third person after the chair has gone out for that unavoidable call. There is also number 4, number 5, number 6. You will come in that order, there is no problem. From the old man, you can just lift your hand so that you don't confuse the chair, Baba. No, the man I identified. Raise your hand. Not that man who's white jacket. Yeah. Okay, the chair has given me a grace period to proceed. Over to you, you have 3 minutes, Mama. 1.
Thank you, Chairperson, the committee. My name is Glendale Polisa. I'm the Deputy Secretary of the EFF in the province, also serving in this committee. Chairperson, I'm just standing here to come to tell the committee that mine is to support the bill. Mine is to say the land must be expropriated without any compensation. I just heard the former speakers that spoke saying that they were here before, when they arrived here, there was no one. My question is, the people who were kept as laborers for them, who were they? Because they found us in this land. Thank you, Chairperson. That's my plea.
My name is Tandikaya. Christian Mka. I'm the member of the ANC here in TR Mtanjeni municipality. I would like to say something here. You did come here into TR to address us about those lands, and then you are coming back again. By the way, the lands, they belong to the blacks. The white, they have been stolen the land to us. Because our mothers they have been working for the whites, and then the whites have been taking the land to our mothers. Our mothers, they have been growing to the farms, but amaphulo aba bona bawabile ama farmer kuthi thina abantu bamnyama. So when sicela into eyi-1 ukuthi ilento ilands zibuyele back abantwana bamnyama, amabhulu wona mawanikeze imihlaba yethu. That's all. Thank you.
Our next speaker.
Bulisile leadership. Igama lam ndingufundiswa Bathwali from Philipstown. I drive 55 kilos to DR. I'm so painful because I was also leading in the ANC from 1986 until 2016. But imeko inbeke kwenye indawo kuba mandibe kwi-EFF. Mna ndinesicelo nje, isicelo because I saw ukuba iFlipstown ayifumani elithuba. Bendinesicelo into yokuba kudala sizive izinto zemihlaba ngokukhula kwethu bethetha abazali bethu. Besichazela ngemihlaba yabo but singa understand. Then we grew up, we saw these things into yokuba xa umzali echaza into yokuba that land is my land. Sibuze singabantwana ba kwathini kwenzeke ntoni kuba ungafumani la mhlaba. So bendinesicelo into yokuba buyisani imihlaba ebantwini. Sibadala ngoku nathi we need imihlaba. Sizawuthini kubantwana bethu? Senze ntoni for abantwana bethu? Senze ntoni abazukulwane bethu? Isicelo sami into yokuba buyisani imihlaba because abazali bethu they passed away bengafumananga nto. But isicelo sethu into yokuba ngoku si-EFF bring that land to our people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The last from the last batch identified, but we'll be coming this side, don't panic, and the discretion of the chair is going to prevail. This is the last speaker speaking, then we go to the left.
Nakalina ke nanolthando wesi koro sapring region ya Renosterberg. Baholo nna ke sa tlhole ke kopa yana re lapisitswe ke go kopa because I think this is the 3rd time to hear parliament visitela batho re tla go bua ka lehatshe. Re kopa mbu wa rona wa boraitshomogolo our heritage because bangwe ba rona ba tsetswe lehatshe ko botata ba rona ba boloketsweng teng. Kanya ya gore maburu re ha ba re sheba ba ba re nyatsa bakeng sa gore ba nagana gore ha re ka kra lehatshe rona batho bantsho ga re nkitla re kgona go dira. Days before ba tla mo South Africa bagolo ba rona ba ne ba ja ba ne ba lema and ba go ne go le kgoro ka nako ewa go sa tshwane ka nako e ya gompieno ya puso ya maburu. Re lapisitswe ke makgowa, re lapisitswe ke go kopa lehatshe la rona. Ke kopa le romele molaetsa ko parlamenteng gore rona jaaka EFF re batla lehatshe la rona. Re kopa gore section 25 e tsengwe mo billing ya rona ya constitution gore lehatshe le boele batho bantsho. Ga re batle tsholo ya madi mara ha e le gore tsholo ya madi yone batho ba shwe ba e batla, we are free to do so. We can fight. Setswana sa re molwela sa gagwe ga alape ke sa ditleng go se dira. A re boelwe ke lehatshe le rona re kgone go bona gore bana ba rona le ditlogolo tsa rona ka moso e re ga ba bua ba re batsadi ba rona ba sotlhegile ka nako ya apartheid ba tsetswe mahatshe mara nako e re lwela bana ba rona re lwela ditlogolo tsa rona mo mahatsheng otlhe a re dula mo gone ga go te o iwa stance go aga ntlo o ne wa 300 square meter. Ke batla go itse gore 300 square meter ya go aga ntlo ya mohutamang rona batho bantsho re le family o bore o sheba lekgowa le agile mo 1500 hectares wa agile le hala la ntlo and ga ba bone bana ka gore ba tshaba go godisa family ba itse gore ke ba yengo rona le hatsele ke la rona la South Africa. We deserve the best go tswa mo le hatsing la rona. Ke a leboga.
With due respect through agree so before I Magagesu, let us not be at the war zone before the war begins. The language through you, Chairperson, I not maburu somewhere it may not assist us in creating the envisaged nayo. So we are just pleading with comrades over malokwa a bolelang ore re se ka ra hlabana ka mantswe re no re ba bashweu le ba baso bjale ka mokgola chairperson a ba bolela ka gona, not just an attacking type of language. Chairperson, this is your turn. Chairperson, you.
Mtate Murasetla, thank you very much. The name Boo in English is farmer. So we want to create black, in other words, black farmers. So Burdere is farming. And Mtate Murasetla, necessary to fight. If we were going to have to fight, it would not be necessary to listen to you. We'll just say, let's go to the bush. So we are not going to fight. The Constitution say, let's talk. So please, let's talk. Can we take hands this side? One at the back there. The other one, the black skipper. The third one, white skipper. No, the white skipper there. And this gentleman who is very cooperative, he allows others to speak and he gives them chance, give him a chance. Okay. Yeah, give him a sticker. So we are done this side and there are no other people outside. So when we have spoken, you can stay because this is the last round. But this side, are they speak this side? Yeah, there's one green shirt, and that lady there. Lady there, here. Yeah. No other lady. So this is the last round. So we have not closed out. These are the only people that want to speak. And after that, there's another lady here. Give her a sticker. Okay. With you, the last host come work in the crowd. We can aangaan, alsjeblieft. No, after him.
Baie dankie voorsitter en mede paneellede. Ek is Ronald Thompson van Philipstown, verteenwoordiger, een van die verteenwoordigers van die EFF. Voorsitter, ek sta nie vandag hier voor u om te praat uit generaties wat dateer uit era van koningin Elizabeth en wie ook al wat grond van mense af die lawful inhabitants van die land kom vat dit nie. Voorsitter, ek support ook die motion van baie van die EFF-lede. Ons sal nie wag en watchdogs raak van 'n revolution whilst die regering ploeter aan, sleepvoete om nie grond aan mense toe te eien nie. Baie dankie.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Is it? Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity, Chairperson. My name is Beatrice Bosch. I represent Pixley Kaseme District Municipality. I, of course, agree with the amendment of the Constitution for expropriation without compensation. But I would like to also add that there is already so much division in the country that we, by all means, seek very peaceful ways to go about it in terms of educating not only the individuals that will be the beneficiaries of this land, but also the farmers, because it could have detrimental effects should we not consider the heightening of emotions? Because if we look at the farm murders, emotions are high. But we must also do it in a way that it will be beneficial for both parties, and it must be seen as also for farm workers that are currently exploited. You know, I think there's very few statistics which actually analyze how many farm workers are exploited, how many years they've worked there for generations. So those stories we need to, in a way, publicize to make it more, to make it more appropriate on how to proceed with this procedure. And I'm also of view that most individuals are not particularly interested in agriculture, but land, as we know, buildings, it is something that we should also, as people of color, should inherit, because as a first-time house buyer, there's so many barriers that makes it either impossible or really difficult for especially young professionals or any individual to get loans from banks to attain property. I think our focus must also move for people of color to be included in terms of property, expanding that and not only having individuals focus on agriculture, because it may not necessarily be everyone's interest. Thank you.
Very good mother. When there is a fight, it is women and children who are the first victims. So your message is very important. Carry it out to the community. Next one.
Thank you, Chairperson. My name is Lewang Mokgoro. I'm representing One South Africa Movement. I'm the regional coordinator of Big Speakers Amending. Chairperson, today we are speaking about the land expropriation without compensation. I've got a few questions to pose to this panel before I can say whether do we support the amendment of Section 25 or not. The first question is that how will this land expropriation without compensation work? We need to know that. And the second one is, what is exactly the land expropriation without compensation? Because I believe that most of us are not even clear what this is, but we are here, it's fine. What is the legal and moral justification for it? Does it threaten individual home ownership or not? Chairperson, since the ANC's 54th National Conference in December, land has recaptured the imagination of South Africans, increasingly so. The world is turning its gaze towards our land policy. We are wondering, is South Africa going the Zimbabwe route or not? Now, Chairperson, I want to bring this under your attention. Under Section 25 of the Constitution, an expropriation is legally justified if it serves a public purpose or a public interest. Now, as One South Africa movement, we want to be clear that we are supporting Section 25 of the Constitution, but we are saying, if that is going to be amended, let the owners be offered with the title deeds for ownership. Because at the current stage, we see that there's a land grabbing that is happening all over the world. And that is not the solution of what we are talking about today. So I am trying to say that we as One South Africa movement, we are saying it's fine, let us amend Section 25 of the Constitution. But let us be clear that all owners should be presented with title deeds so that we can know that you are the rightful owner of that land. Or otherwise, if we are going to say that let's all occupy land, that means that we are going to grab land just as we want. So, Chairperson, please, the title deed issue is very much important in this hearing. I just wanted to state that. Thank you very much.
There is another meeting in the multi-purpose hall, which is dealing with the so that matter is being attended to. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Yeah, proceed. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Joseph Maobe Fortin. I'm representing the ANC from Bridgetown. Chair, let me start with this. I'm a little bit disappointed in the venue, Chair, based on the corona thing. If we could have had a bigger venue, because the interest in this matter, Chair, is very big. And the second thing is, Chair, why I'm raising this, the disappointment is that some of those who object this thing, this beautiful thing that you are busy with, those who object it have run away now. They just making statements and run away. We cannot engage even in the other places. But it's fine, Chair. We appreciate the opportunity for you coming down to the Northern Cape, Pixley Kasema region to have our say. Chair, let me start with this one. We as the ANC and as a community of Bridgetown and Pixley Kasema, we are in full support of the amendment of Section 25, Chair. We are in full support. The reason for that is, Chair, we have live witnesses of these victimizations, Chair. We got areas like your Pampuna here in the R, you got a lot of areas like Noordkamp, you got areas here, Chair, based on what they are doing, Chair. Some of these owners, Chair, of the land, which they don't want to sell even, which they don't want to be expropriated, some of these owners are in America, Chair. It's a pity, Chair, because of this corona thing, you cannot take a drive through these areas and see how the land is dying, Chair, in the Northern Cape. And even in this area, the Pixley Kasema area, they are using black people now as foremen just to protect the land, so that the land just have an owner on it. But they are not using it, Chair. The majority of them is sitting there overseas, getting some money from those who occupy the land, the managers. They're using these black people. So, Chair, as a member, as a leader of a community, my wish is that you must just speed up the process. That's my wish, Chair. And that you, as parties, I know, sir, we've got different parties in Parliament, but I'm sure, Chair, and my prayer will be on this one, who will be united, because our gogos and mamas want the land. On soek ons grond terug, Chair. Thanks.
Got the opportunity to speak, and the whole has not.
Explanation accepted, Chair.
We want. Yeah, you can speak.
Ndibulela ithuba ndibulisile ke kuwo wonke umuntu olapha ngaphakathi olivayo ke izwi lami. Ndingu-ANC mna uqobo, ndaphuma esizalweni ndinguye. Ndizawugxila ke kweli cala lomhlaba. U-25 lo mhle kakhulu, siza kuhlala kuye asizutshintsha. Ingathi masisebenzise wona. Sekuthethiwe ke hlalo ngezinto ezininzi njengokuba sowutshilo kukho umhlangano ngapha, kodwa ke kwi-143 hectares ayiyongomhlaba lowo. Sizawukhala nge-overgrazing of the land. Iza kwenzeka ngoba sibahlanu, ingulongo unenkomo zimashumi-mabini, iigusha zimashumi-mahlanu, iibhokwe zimashumi-mathandathu. Andiboni make sifumane inxaxheba yemihlaba yobawo. Asilwinto kwabamhlophe, kodwa ke mabasicingele nathi, ngoba ke le mihlaba bayithatha nje. Bona baqhatha ke ngento abaqhatha ngazo. Unikwa isipeliti kuthiwe kuwe sinike inkomo ezimbini. Enye ndiza kugcizelela kuyo into utshilo bawuhlala uba ikhona inhlangano engapha. But kukhona abantu abeke bathetha ngumhlaba esasisuka kuwo 1962 ezilokishini ezindala sazongena ngapha. Kufike iKimberley apha yasifilishisa ii-forms yathi imali ikhona yokuhlawula la mihlaba sisuka kuyo. Apha eButterworth ibisandubhatalwa ngoku iphumile eButterworth ezomali. eColesberg iphumile ezomali. Manje nasazifilisha iform sagqiba senza yonke into iphi imali. Le mali kwakuthiwa ipha Kimberley iphi ndifuna ucela ndithume le komiti uyawunyula bakho bawuhlala bahambe bowuphanda la mali kwasixelele ngayo thina ipha eKimberley sikwazi uyifumana. Please ndiyakubonga sihlalo ngokuhlala kwakho uzokufikelela komhlaba. Thank you.
Wanga Mena, you are a good father and grandfather. I can see you allow other people to speak. You respect other people. I wish you can impart those values to the young ones. Thank you very much. Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Rachel Cubido from the ANC. If you allow me, can I read? Okay. I state the ANC support expropriation of land as just and equitable process to restore the dignity of our people in addressing the land question and expropriation of land without compensation is part of that process. We are convinced by the evidence that the willing buyer, willing seller model did not work. For the ANC, land reform is about addressing historical injustice and disproportion position of black majority. It is also vital opportunity to unlock growth, promote social economic transformation. The ANC's land reform program provides a radical way to address the land question and build product assets for our people and ensure food security. Number one, we submit that on Section 25, Clause 1, 4, 5, 6, and 9 should remain as they are. Number two, on Clause 2, we make the following amendment. Add a new subclause 2C, which we must read as follows. Subject to without compensation or zero or null compensation under condition let out in a law of general application. Number three, on clause 3, which speaks about property, we made the following amendment to the first line of the clause, everything after that remain the same, to read as follows. The compensation is payable. The money of the compensation and the time and manner of payment must be just and equitable, and so on. Clause 4, number 4, on clause 7, we made the following submission. Can I continue? Okay. that the purpose of the hearing only the text remains as it is. Number 5, on clause 8, we made the following amendment on the first line of clause as the follow, and everything remains the same. No provision of this section including the payment of compensation may impede the state and so on. In conclusion, expropriation of land is just an equitable process to restore the dignity of our people. This.
The time is up. You can give us what you have written.
Sorry?
The time is up. but
Okay,
you can
it's the
give-
last sentence. Can
Okay.
can I continue?
Yeah.
Okay. Expropriation must be done by the executive authority. The executive, and only there is a dispute which cannot be resolved, can it be referred to the
Okay,
jurisdiction.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm Gosnati Williams from DR. I'm a member of ANC in good standing. We support this notion of amendment bill of Section 25 of the Constitution of land expropriation without compensation. If we look to the land issue, it's much tangible as we are as individuals. We take it from the era of the past where black people have been removed through unjust laws, 1913 and the Group Areas Act of 1950. Currently, if we look at the state at this time, there's a growth of inequality on wealth. Wealth is in the hands of few whites, whilst blacks have been absolutely related to poverty. So we're making a humble request that this land issue to be addressed. We're making a humble request that the land to be expropriated without compensation. And we're asking it that the municipalities, please engage with our municipalities to stop the purchasing of land, because we want it for free, to address the imbalances of the past, to restore our human dignity. Please, thank you.
Leave us your sticker.
Red
But,
one.
yes, but we are going to be accused of allowing Soweto people for hijacking the platform, the DR people. Are there no T-shirts from DR? Anyone this side?
Goedemiddag, mijn naam is Claudine Jacobs. Ik is van Flipstown, ik is een leier aan de EFF. Claudine Jacobs. Ik is een leier aan de EFF, ik is van Flipstown. De reden waarom ik vanmiddag hier is, ik wil jullie zijn hulp graag vragen voor ons in Flipstown. En ons blijven eindelijk in die plakkerskamp. Daar is geen water, geen toilets en daar is geen elektriciteit voor ons niet. Daar is grond in Flipstown en wat watermeters het, maar ons kan nie net daarop gaan trek nie. So dit is al wat ek vanmiddag wil vra asseblief meneer. Baie dankie.
Speaker. Yeah. Just introduce yourself. Remove the mask.
Okay, remove the mask.
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Sunwabeli Filfan. I'm the South African resident. I stay here in DR. Okay, like as as we come here, we come to hear the issue that is stated here about the land reform for the South African people. We plead to the government to give the people the land without compensation, because it's in yon people are suffer and suffocated for a long time. People are landless and people are homeless and people are starving. And we plead to government, if you can give that to the people, the land to them, so that they can do for things for themselves and work collectively with the government. We need the change for the South African government so that can make things to be more better and more amelioration for the South African people. Thank you.
On behalf of the Parliament staff that are here, officials, I want to say we enjoyed being in DR because you have shown us that the people of DR are a self-respecting people and they respect other people. And there's no single parliamentarian or staff member who felt harassed or who felt they were working under pressure. When I walked around, I found the police gathered under the tree talking because they didn't have to force anyone to do anything, because the people of this town are self-respecting, law-abiding, and these are the type of citizens of the new South Africa that we want. And that is the message that we will take to Parliament and take to other places to say, as South Africans, men and women, black and white, let's conduct ourselves like the people of DR and build a more powerful, a better South Africa and a prosperous South Africa, so that our children and grandchildren can enjoy the fruits of the freedom. And lesale handle, salane handle, we enjoyed being here. I wish we could have stayed longer, but I guess when we come next time, we'll come to celebrate the outcome of this process. And thank you very much. And I see these two ladies in front here, they were here, respectful, and giving everybody a chance, listening. I wish you could become teachers and not retire now, because the values that you stand for are the values that must go out. Like that young lady there, I think you must become teachers. Being a teacher doesn't mean you must have a certificate. You must teach wherever you are. Thank you very much. You make us a proud people and a proud parliament. Bon voyage. Thank you.